Hello, ladies and gentlemen, children of the world. This is Tablo. Thank you for picking up my book, Blonote. I don't know if you've read it already or, you just slipped in the CD first, but it's a book of quotes. Originally, I introduced them as final statements to like this radio show that I had. I didn't want to just say good night at the end of it. So at the end of every show, which was every day, it was a 2-hour show and it ended at midnight. So I thought it was the perfect time to throw out a thought, because it's the end of a day and the beginning of a new one. So some of the quotes in the book, some of them will hit you heavy. Some of them will seem, like very mundane thoughts. But I'm hoping that you can carry this book around with you all the time and look back at quotes you've skipped over, and sometimes they'll scream out at you with a different meaning than what they carried before. Now I'm gonna introduce some of the passages, some of the quotes, some of the aphorisms in the book. And this is very awkward. I really don't like reading things I write, because I'm actually a rapper, and usually if I'm ever voicing out what I've written, it's in rap form over a beat. And it's less uncomfortable. So, with me, imagine that we are inside a dimly lit coffee house, and it's open mic night, and people can come up and step up and sing a song or do spoken word, and I've decided to just spit out some quotes. I actually have a cup of tea with me right now, so this will be very casual. If you can go now and grab some coffee, do so. Here we go. Oh, wait. P.S. So I didn't want to do this. I did this audio thing with the original Korean version. And like I said, I'm not very comfortable reading what I've written, so I didn't want to do it, but a lot of the fans over Twitter, Instagram, they asked me to do it, so this is for the fans. So if you're not a fan, I don't know why you have my book, but thank you for getting it. And if you're not totally a fan of my voice or anything, then you can just stop playing this CD right now. Okay, here we go. Period. The end of the story, that is us, dwindled and dark, couldn't be more aptly punctuated. Yeah. Here's another one. Being happy first requires you to be. This might seem like a very simple thought. It is. It's not pretending to be something complicated or life-changing, but it's a thought that doesn't cross my mind often, as often as it should. I am, and we are all very busy trying to be different things, especially with the internet and the phones and technology. We're constantly bombarded with possibilities of things we could be. We're trying to be happy, we're trying to be successful, we're trying to be amazing, we're trying to be famous, we're trying to be something we're not sometimes. And it distracts us from what we can actually, what we should actually. Hey, I got a text message. See, this is what I'm saying. You're trying to be something and you get distracted and now I'm gonna have to look at this text message, and I'll forget to be what I'm supposed to be, which is just me, just existing. So what this quote is trying to touch upon is, whenever we're confused, or when everything becomes complicated because we're trying to be these different things, maybe we should just take a breath, sit down, and first just be. You say you want to live life like a movie. Keep in mind that there's a running time. I had the director of Old Boy write out this thought for me in the book, because he's a film director, and the fact that he's writing it out, or he's saying it, adds irony, and it just drives the message home. You puzzle over whether you should follow your head or follow your heart. Your head and your heart, hand in hand all this time, puzzle over you. Yeah, I always found it interesting that people separate the mind and the heart, the head and the heart, and have these conflicts, these great, life-lasting conflicts of which to follow, when both of them belong to you. So they're actually hand in hand, and maybe sometimes we're conflicted over things that we shouldn't be conflicted about. Sometimes the unimaginable occurs in order to fatten our imagination. This is a thought that I hope is true. Nobody wants to experience the unimaginable. Of course, we all will. We can try, but we will never be able to fully imagine death. But that's surely coming. And before that, most people will experience the unimaginable a few times in their lives. I've experienced it more often than I would have wanted to. And here's the thing. Before I had experience dealing with the unimaginable, whenever things like that happened, the first initial reaction I had was, why is this happening to me? How could this happen to me? How is this possible? But now that I've had some experience with it, when what we consider the unimaginable happens, I try to think that maybe it's expanding my capacity to understand and try to deal with these realities, these unexpected realities. And I don't ever want to recommend experiencing unimaginable things for no reason, but if it's something we can't avoid, maybe it'll better prepare us for other unimaginable things that happen in our future. What we call a crush deserves a more fitting name: crushed. I don't think this phrase needs any explanation. When I was young, I searched for someone who will stand by me. Now I'm searching for someone who will stand me. This sounds like a very negative, pessimistic sentence or two, but what I was getting at is, when we're younger, we tend to expect a lot more from the people around us, and as we get older, through the process of elimination, we we're left with realistic expectations. And I don't think that's such a bad thing. Love is when you want to give someone what you cherish most, but they ask for what you cherish least. This thought actually came from something that I actually saw. My daughter Haru was hanging out with this older kid, and so this kid really liked Haru, so she offered like a gift, like take one of the toys that I have. And Haru actually asked for something that that person cherishes least, so that the loss would be minimized. And when I saw that, I was blown away by it, because it's something that's unfortunately very rare to see between adults. Usually you're trying to get the best possible thing from other people. You're usually thinking about what you'll gain instead of what they'll lose. And I thought that this happening between two children was just eye-opening, and I decided that day that that's how I would define love or sharing. No worry can stand taller than a friend who worries with you. I reminisce not to dwell in the past, but to practice for a future worth remembering. This Blonote is one of my favorites. I tend to reminisce a lot. I tend to dwell in the past. I tend to think back to better times. And, it's easy to brush that off by saying, well, you're getting older, or, the past isn't important, look ahead. And I'm actually someone that's always looking forward and moving forward, but I think it's important to think back to better times, even if those memories cause you a bit of pain. There are a lot of memories that I'd like to forget, but forgetting them also requires me to lose the beautiful parts about it, the beautiful parts of it. And I think it's important to think back and to remember back and to reminisce and to, to turn around once in a while, because surely there's going to be many more memories in the future, and it'll better prepare you to try to make better ones, better memories. Another Blonote that it's not similar to this one, but I like to think of it as a pair, is sometimes regret is just a sign of a healthy imagination. People who regret a lot, people who regret all the time, another way to look at them is maybe they just have a very good imagination, because they're constantly imagining a better way, a better possibility for how things could have turned out, like, better than what actually happened. So, even if it causes them pain, and it's not always good to regret, sometimes maybe it just means that they have a lively imagination, and that their imagination is intact. And honestly, if I had to choose between regretting a lot and having a good imagination, or never regretting because I have a poor imagination, I choose the former. So I think sometimes it's okay to regret. It just means that you have the capability of imagining better things. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there are many more thoughts, many more aphorisms, many more quotes inside the book. I can read them all to you, but that would take away the fun. I'd like you to hear these quotes spoken to you by you, because they'll take on meaning once you allow them to. Whatever I intended actually doesn't matter. This is your book. These are your thoughts from this point on. And I hope you have a safe and eye-opening trip with these words. Thank you.